now I would like to invite Mr. Ayo Chang, International Affairs Myanmar Press Council. You may come forward. Take your time. Thank you.
Okay, so now I will talk about the media challenges in Myanmar. At the same time, people want to know, what is really happening in Myanmar and the actual updates, because, the whole world has been bombarded with so much fake news and all these things, right? So if you talk about one single media challenge in Myanmar, it's always about fake news, right? There's creation of fake news on the Facebook. Yeah, we'll talk about that a bit later on. Yeah, next slide, please. Okay, this is the sequence of things. I just a little bit updating on this, how the change of government comes about, right? People think that it's a military takeover from the military coup from the civilian administration who has legally won the election, yeah, which is really not true, yeah, and plus the terrorists that have terrorist activities that have been happening in the country. We have the complete statistics of 2021. And that's the third point is obviously my opinion, that I actually write the article on that, why the terrorists will not win. Yeah, the other one is the previous NLD administration is the party of the corrupt with the facts to prove that. And plus the issues that have been exacerbating in the whole of Myanmar is the Facebook issue. Yeah, with the anonymity and this lack of accountability in the Facebook. Yeah, that's the issue. Sorry, the next one I cannot remember anymore. And the last one is the for better or for worse, which means how are we going to go forward? Okay, that's my agenda for today. Thank you. Next, please. Okay, events leading to the change of government. Right, I have provided you links where I actually wrote about all these things. Well, not I mean somebody from the Myanmar Insider. Yeah, the first question on everybody's mind that we have is, why doesn't the military negotiate with the Aung San Suu Kyi to have a peaceful resolution on Myanmar state of affairs? Right, that's the first question all the diplomats ask me. All the diplomats I have met, why they negotiate? Well, if you look at the fraud statistics, you will know why they don't negotiate. Look, can you click the link on the second fraud statistics, please? Can you click the link? No, not the click. You exit first. You exit the slideshow first. Then you click the link. Oh, shucks. Oh, that's the first one. First one doesn't show the statistics. Only the second one will show. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, there are major election frauds during the 2020 elections. Altogether, the number of fraudulent votes is nearly 12 million votes. Right, and the statistics is shown there in the statistics link. For example, there are more than nearly 300,000 people who voted more than 2 times. There are 20,000 people, more than 20,000 people over the age of 100 that has gone to the voting booth to vote. If Myanmar has 20,000 people over the age of 100, do you know how much the whole world have the centenarians? The whole world only have like 500,000 people over the age of 100. If Myanmar had 20,000, Myanmar is having like nearly 5% of the whole world population of centenarians. Right, and Myanmar healthcare system is one of the worst in the world, sad to say. Yeah, how can we be having so many people over the age of 100? And there are so many people who voted below the age of 18 as well. Yeah, so altogether, there are more than 12 million fraudulent, there are more than 11 million fraudulent votes. That's a fact, and that has been audited as well. So what I'm trying to say is, so the voter fraud was suspected. There's a video evidence. There's people pointing that, okay, the old people, you stamp there, then that stamp is the NLD stamp. right? So there are so many evidence of voter fraud. So the military, as well as, at first not the military, first opposition party, the parties who, there are the 20, 30 of them, asked the election frauds to be investigated, right? But Aung San Suu Kyi and NLD, they refused to investigate. And they're to and fro. Then the military come and they ask the election frauds to be investigated again. So many letters, so many correspondence, so many public voicing of that. Until one fine day, until the 31st of January, when they totally continue to form the new government based on the fraudulent votes. So that's what actually happened. And on that day, the senior generals went to see her, and she refused to see them, and she asked one of her aides, one of the ministers, to tell them, either give me power or let the country disintegrate. It's up to you. So if you are in the other place, what would you have done? That's all I'm saying about the election fraud. And that's why the government, the current government, military, so-called, you call it whatever, they don't want to take over. They don't want to do that. At the same time, with NLD Party Elections Commission refusing to investigate the electoral frauds, they have no choice. That's the first thing that I want to mention. Yeah, and they have tried so many times, so many correspondence, so many letters, yet it was not investigated. Assuming that the president and I compete in the election, everybody likes the president more. I know that I'm going to lose. But if he cheated in the election, what do you think it should happen? You cheated. So that's a baseline. They cheated in the election. Right? So what would you do if you cheat in the election? That has to be disqualified. I'm sure Timor will have better democracy than that. Right? You will disqualify the cheat. Yeah, so that is the affair. That's why the so-called the coup or military takeover of that government happens. Yeah, so that's I don't want to be sounding so political about that, but that's a fact. Yeah, so the next please. So the statistics, and you can get the slides afterwards and get the statistics all over there. Now I don't know why it cannot be clicked. It cannot be clicked. Yeah, because last night I tried, it all works. Next please. Okay, so with NLD government being unable to take power, these people and their supporters, they try to turn into terrorist and destruction activities, starting with the CDM, Civil Disobedience Movement, and encouraging all the civil servants to make the government fall. So that they become eventually terrorists. They bomb the schools, they bomb the hospitals. Even last week, one terrorist group was caught trying to send a rocket to a children's hospital. Yeah, these are facts. Yeah, it can be verified at any point. I'll help you. I'll invite you to the country to verify if you want to do that. Yeah. So these are the terrorist statistics. How much they have killed, how many they destroyed, and how many monks they have killed. So that is the statistic. The links are already given there. Yeah, and the media in Myanmar, especially the media, the exiled media, so-called. Previously, they are mainstream media. And they become exiled after the coup because they have contributed too much to the misinformation, disinformation on the platform. Yeah? So media has become a tool for terrorists. When these terrorists collect money or seek donations from the people, 20% of the donations have to go to that media. What is the purpose? For the media to create fake news. So that is the allocation of the funding. Yeah, this is not coming from me. This is coming from the capture terrorists themselves. Right, so current status, there are only a few underground cells in major cities, and their physical presence on the physical location is limited to 2 of the 15 states in Myanmar only. Myanmar got altogether 15 states. So altogether only 2 has some terrorist activities left. Obviously, their underground cells still exist. Next, please. Oh, this is my opinion piece that I've written on why these terrorists will not win. You know, you can. I don't want to dwell on it so much, so you can just read it on the link itself. Yeah, because this is just a summary of the 10 points that I write up for you. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe the what is it? The internet is not so fast. That's why. Okay, next please. Yeah. Okay. Talking about the corruption and the corruption of the previous government. Right now, statistics-wise, 90% of the ex-ministers from the NLD party in the previous administration, they are either being charged for corruption or in jail for corruption. Here, we are not talking about the offenses, political offenses, like you are not loyal to the state or you are trying to say something bad about the military or government. Corruption is the corruption as you and I know it. That's what being charged. It's about taking bribes and taking money. Yeah, so that's it. And the other 5% is on the run for forming part of the NUG terrorist group. Yeah, so it's just being factual. There's nothing, no opinion about that, right? So, if you look at the previous administration prior to the NLD, there are about 2 ministers being charged for corruption. Now, under NLD administration, almost every minister is being charged for corruption. So that is a fact that's a factual. Even the president and the state councillor, who is Aung San Suu Kyi, they're being charged for corruption as well, right? Taking bribes and taking gold bars and etc. All these. Yeah, so these are the facts. Next, please. Okay, this is a Facebook. Yeah, because all these things, instability, terrorist activity, illegal fundraising, bond issuing, terrorists are issuing bonds to buy weapons, to make explosives, all these things. Yeah, all this take place over this beautiful Facebook platform. Yeah, so why? Because anonymity. Facebook allows anonymous posting, right? You don't have to disclose your name. You can write whatever you want. You can say that the president of our press council is whatever, because you don't know who is it, right? So you cannot, and some of that person who is writing about him is saying overseas, so the law cannot reach him. Yeah, so that type of thing. Oh, Myanmar is so big. Myanmar is at least 10, 20 times bigger than East Timor. So how to capture him? Yeah, so that's the one. Yeah, and some more, in Myanmar, when people talk about internet, people just mention the Facebook. Myanmar people don't know how to do the Google search and all these things. Facebook is the internet for them. Myanmar has like 25 million internet users, and we have like also 25 million Facebook accounts, as per the internet statistics. Yeah. So and Facebook they have so many fake accounts also. Every person in Myanmar, you ask them, they at least have two accounts, Facebook. One for the actual account, and the other one for the fake accounts, where you can write whatever other things, other bullshit that you want to write. Yeah, so that's really damaging to the security of the nation and the state. And so that one I want to highlight that. Yeah, no accountability, no responsibility, spreading political agenda and malicious lies. Yeah, and all the activities. Just now she was asking. Yeah, she was asking if Myanmar have illegal wildlife activities. In fact, I've interviewed the wildlife WWF people last month, and the sale of illegal wildlife endangered species in Myanmar has increased by 75%. Illegal wildlife, endangered species. Why? Because of the platform. Because the sale of wildlife even reached to me now. Even you can buy tigers online. Yeah, why? Because of the platform. Previously, without the platform, how would I know how to buy a tiger? Yeah, now it's possible. Yeah, and the other one is the last point that I want to highlight is a blue tick is not a reliable source. In the Facebook, I'm sure you realize there's a thing called blue tick, right? A blue tick there. Yeah, blue tick is not really reliable. A lot of people who are encouraging terrorist activities are having blue ticks recognition in the Facebook. Just to give you an example, because we do keep track of the fake news on the Facebook, right? This is within 1 month alone. Yeah, within 1 month alone, These are the so-called the media that has been made illegal by the government, right? And then look at the proportion of the disinformation and fake news versus the actual news. And these media have millions of followings. So when you have millions of followings and people are not that educated, they can be influenced pretty easily. So that's the danger of this platform. Next. Okay, now because of this, what has happened to Myanmar? So that is oh, sorry, I cannot remember. Yeah? Because of the COVID as well as because of this changeover of the government, takeover of the military, Myanmar economy is down by 20%. 20% is quite a lot in 2021. That's not my statistics. That's World Bank statistics. Yeah? And Chad is depreciated. Chad is a local currency here in Myanmar, has depreciated more than 75% against the dollars. Yeah? Some of the MNCs has left because of the pressure from all these rights groups in the Facebook as well as other groups. And we are constantly facing the hyperinflationary risk, yeah, because of our depreciation of the Chad. And plus, a lot of Myanmar people, they have left the country, especially the brain drain, yeah. And plus, because of the factory, some MNC left. There are higher unemployment rate within the country now, and plus our stock market activity has gone down by minus 80% during the last 1 year. So that is because of this changeover of the government. It happened. It's no good, but as I say, it is still our country, so it is our job. We must make it work. Next slide, please. So, but now things are looking up 1.5 years later. Yeah, terrorism is down and tourism is up. Terrorists previously tend to be across the country, now only limited to 2 states now. Yeah, so they are almost gone. And tourism, last month alone, there are more than 10,000 tourists visiting Myanmar. So that is also not bad, yeah, going up. Yeah, divestments are down, companies leaving has gone down, but investments are coming up as well. And next one is the alternative allies and trade routes. Obviously, US and the West, yeah, and do not like Myanmar so much. Yeah, so they try to impose sanctions. Obviously, sanctions doesn't work. So we do find our friends, our allies. We have Russia, we have China, we have India, who are dealing with us on a very, on an increased level. Yeah, so they are helping us as well. So because of this, we found that's a positive note. And plus, more people are realizing that the social media is full of fake news, and these media are actually medias of fortune. You have heard of soldiers of fortune, right? Right, mercenaries, you pay money and you become soldiers. Right, so the media of fortune, you pay money and you write. They write whatever you like. Yeah, that's a media of fortune. Yeah, so the last point is, this year, our economy is expected to grow by 3 to 5%. That is also estimated by the international organization. Yeah, so things are a little bit looking up. Yeah, after 2021 years of way down. Yeah, now it's coming up a bit. Okay, I think the last slide already, I think. Oh, okay. So I am showing the fact that things are looking up, not in terms of my assumption. Yeah, people say, hey, this is your assumption, this is not factual. No, I have done up the Google Analytics. Yeah, Google Analytics showing that there's a mobility movement. Yeah, from the government change until now. For example, this is a workplace, number of visitor workplace. This is all the demonstration taking place. This is the COVID third wave. And this is the Myanmar New Year, where the terrorists bomb everywhere. And now things are going up. This 0% is the pre-COVID level. Now we are better than the pre-COVID level. This is the Google mobility statistics, not what I did. This is a retail and recreation. This is a shopping and having fun, right? The first dip, demonstration. Second dip, COVID third wave, Omicron, I think. Yeah, this is a bombing campaign, and now Myanmar is there. Next slide. This is the same thing. These are parks and outdoor places. People are having more fun outside, right? So the first tip, second tip, and now people are going even more than the pre-COVID time to do outdoor activities. And the last point, transit. Transit is where train station, bus stations, and all these things. Again, the chart reflects that. But still, because terrorist bombing is targeted at all these bus stations and all these train stations, so they're still slightly below the pre-COVID levels. Yeah, so this is Google Analytics. And this is the last slide. Oh, people, can you go back a little bit? One slide. Yeah, this is the one I put from the Martin Luther King Jr. Yeah, the arc of moral universe is long, but at the end, it bends towards justice. Yeah, that's what we're going to have in Myanmar. Next, please. Okay, the last one is the last slide. Last but not least, this is the, we train the public as well as the media people to be able to spot the fake news. Because sometimes, how do you know that the news is fake? Right, so this is the, if you have to be careful of these to say that, to acknowledge the fake news. Normally, fake news, the title is so long. And then there's no other information in addition to the title. They just write back the title. That's likely to be fake news. And plus, you got to verify the news from other sources. Secondly, so when somebody sharing this news, you got to ask yourself whether you're trying to prove yourself right by sharing that, or you're trying to educate someone around you. Right? If you're trying to prove that, okay, so I told you so, that's why it happened, then it's likely to be fake news. Be skeptical when you see the certain news. Right? Follow reliable media. Even reliable media such as BBC, RFA, their stuff may have ulterior motives. Right? They may have standing on one side. So they may write not the factual-based news. Yeah, plus, you always have to check out the new producers or sharer. If they are anonymous, you cannot find their address, or you cannot find their telephone numbers, or you cannot find where they are from, they are likely to be fake news because they cannot stand the scrutiny. They cannot stand being challenged. Yeah, and plus you got to check out the citation and sources of the news. But that's it. Next, please. I think that's the end. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ayuchan. Could you please stand on the stage? Because the Timor-Leste Press Council will give you a gift, like a ties. So I'd like to invite Mr. Expedito, the member of Timor-Leste Press Council.